Hello everybody, welcome to another Poverty Hill Adventures video. This one is going to be a book report video. It's been quite a while since we've done any book reports, and with the long winter nights fast approaching, I'm sure some of you are looking for some good books to read, and I picked out this series of books to show everybody. Some of you may be familiar with them. And if you are, you know how great these books are. But if you're not, I just wanted to take a few minutes and show you the Foxfire series of books. Right here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I believe there is 14 complete books in the series. The series, I believe, was put together by a teacher and some students, might have been high school students or college students back in the late 60s, early 70s. And the project was to start recording backwoods history before it was lost. So these are accounts, verbal accounts from various folks, backwoods folks back. A lot of these people were probably in their 70s and 80s when this was recorded. So some of the things that they recorded in here were from the early 1900s, backwoods life back then. And it is just a treasure chest of information. And I would highly recommend any book in the series, but we're going to take a look at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is the first in the series. This one was just the Foxfire book. It wasn't the Foxfire Book 1, it was just the Foxfire book. And back then it cost $4.50. These books are still being printed and can be picked up new, or keep your eye out and you can pick up some of the older used copies. Let's see what's in the original Foxfire book. Let's start out here with a dedication. This book is dedicated to the people of these mountains in the hope that through it some portion of their wisdom, ingenuity, and individuality will remain long after them touched us all. Here's the table of contents. Starts out with a chapter, This is the Way I Was Raised Up. The next chapter is Aunt Ari, followed by Wood, Tools and Skills, Building a Log Cabin, Chimney Building, White Oak Splits, Making a Hamper out of white oak splits, Making a Basket out of white oak splits, An Old Chair Maker Shows How, Rope, Straw, and Feathers are to Sleep On, A Quilt is Something Human, Soap Making, Cooking on a Fireplace, Dutch Oven, and Wood Stove, Daniel Manias, Mountain Recipes, Preserving Vegetables, Preserving Fruit, Churning Your Own Butter, Slaughtering Hogs, Curing and Smoking a Hog, Recipe for Hog, Weather Signs, and there's even more. Planning by the Signs, The Buzzard and the Dog, Home Remedies, Hunting, Dressing and Cooking Wild Animal Foods, Hunting Tales, Snake Lore, Moonshining as a Fine Art, Faith Healing, and Hillard Green. And that's in the first Foxfire book. These books are filled with pictures, neat old-time pictures. Here's a picture of Harley Carpenter, and he's holding a yellow root plant he has just pulled up from a stream bank near his home. Foxfire number 2, ghost stories, spring wild plant foods, spinning and weaving, midwifing, burial customs, corn shucking, wagon making, and more affairs of plain living. We've got chapters on sourwood, honey, beekeeping, spring wild plants, happy dawdle, making an ox yoke, wagon wheels and wagons, making a tub wheel, making a foot-powered lathe, raising sheep to weaving cloth, how to wash clothes in an iron pot, Anna Howard, midwives and granny women, old-time burials, boogers, witches, and haints. I think that's probably some kind of ghost stories. Corn shucking, house raising, quiltins, pea thrashing, singing, log rollins, candy pullins, and then Kenny reunion, and then an index of people. Let's check out what an index of people is. Well, an index of people is exactly what it is. It's an index of people's names. There's a picture of Kenny reunion. I'm not sure what's going on with the beads around his neck, but I'm sure it's an interesting story. Foxfire number 3. In the contents we have hide tanning, cattle raising, animal care, banjos and dulcimers, purple martin gourds, dipper gourds, Florence and Lawton Brooks ginseng. I better read that one. Summer and fall wild plant foods. Woodrow Shop builds a smokehouse. Building a lumber kiln. Butter churns. Belila, Perry, apple butter, sour gum, brooms and brushes, corn shuck, mops, dolls and hats, Aunt Nora Garland, and let's see what kind of pictures we got in this one. There's out in the cornfield, some fellas out in the cornfield. There's a picture of Florence and Lawton Brooks telling some sort of tale there. Some pictures of some blackberries. More wild food. All kinds of information in these books. Here's a real nice smokehouse that they're building. Foxfire number 4. In this one, we've got a chapter on Etta and Charlie Ross Hartley, knife making, wood carving, fiddle making, Thomas Campbell, plow stock maker, wooden sleds, gardening, bird traps, deadfalls, and rabbit boxes, Annie Perry, horse trading, making tar, logging, Aunt Lola Cannon, water systems, berry buckets, cheese making, Reverend A. Rufus Morgan, and an update. Here's some pictures with some haystacks and some tobacco curing. Here's Lewin Cabe showing us how a grain cradle is used. All sorts of information in these books. All sorts of, just a treasure trove of information. Here's some old-time logging pictures. The last Foxfire book that we're going to look at today is Foxfire number 5. And the contents, it's got iron making and blacksmithing, blast furnaces, bellows, fireplace pokers, forge shovels, froze cowbells and horseshoes, gun making, black powder, barrel making, siler locks, flintlock rifles, modern gunsmiths, turkey shoots, We've got bear hunting in here, habits and habitat, bear dogs, hunting and trapping, Honest John, buck fever, and hunting lore. These books are very large, well into 400 and some pages. Here's a cool picture of a blacksmith holding a froe that he made. Here's some flintlock rifles that they're working on. Here's some cool pictures. One of Uncle Sam Sloan and his homemade percussion half-stock muzzle-loading rifle. And here's a great picture of two men, one with a homemade banjo and the other with a half-stock rifle. How cool is that? I mean, this stuff is great. Highly recommend these books to pass a little time this winter. The Foxfire series of books. Until next time, everybody, take care. Thanks for watching. And remember, keep on trucking.